Welcome to another episode of Erik Wait Whiskey Studies. In April 2019, and again in September 2019, I flew from California down to Texas and visited distilleries. In April 2019, I visited 5 distilleries, and then in May, did an entire month of Texas whiskey reviews, in which I shared my visit to distilleries, and I had some special guests on, including Jared Hempstead, the master distiller of Balcones Distillery. Well, in September 2019, in my return to Texas, I visited more distilleries, but I also stopped at a local whiskey and wine shop, to see what I could find that wasn't really available here in California from Texas. So it's not just about visiting distilleries in Texas. It's also, if you just happen to be passing through, take a look around at wine and whiskey shops and see what you can find, because a lot of the distilleries in Texas are not widely distributed because they have a small production and they just haven't gotten out there yet. But also check out your local whiskey shops and see what you can pick up. I picked up 2 bottles. The first is the Hechiceros, which I'll be reviewing in this video, and another one is the BEVERAGE, which I'll review in another video. But before we get into this whiskey, here are my notes. Balcones Hechiceros Texas Single Malt Scotch Whiskey, a Texas single malt expression, finished in port cask. The name Hechiceros roughly translates in English as sorcerers. It's bottled at 61.5% alcohol by volume, retails from about $90 to $100 in the United States, and it's found not only at the distilleries but local liquor shops in Texas. So if you're in Texas and you can't get to the distillery, look for it at fine wine and whiskey shops everywhere. So I first tasted this one with Daniel Whittington when I visited the Crowded Barrel and did a video with Daniel and Rex, and then Daniel and I did a couple of videos together and really loved this whiskey. So I had been on the hunt for it when I was in Texas during my second trip. This is an absolutely spectacular whiskey, and it is powerful, it is strong, it is very much sort of in your face with flavor. Wow. But it can also seem perhaps a little too overbearing, a little too much. Imagine, if you will, taking a can of concentrated orange juice. You know, you're supposed to put it into a jug or a jar or a bottle or something like that, and then the empty can, you then fill that up with water, put like 2 or 3 more fills of water in order to make a regular composition between the water and the concentrate in making orange juice. Now imagine if, rather than being orange juice concentrate, it was whiskey concentrate. That's sort of what this is. It is very powerful, and with that high ABV can seem a bit overwhelming. So I have really enjoyed this one neat, but it's kind of like, you know, taking the stereo on your car and just cranking it as far as it can go. It can be a bit much. So when you buy a bottle of the Hechiceros, and I say the same for the BEVERAGE, it's almost as if you're buying 2 bottles, because this is concentrated whiskey. So what you want to do is bring it down a little bit. So the question is, well, how much do you want to bring it down? Now, of course, that's going to be a matter of personal taste, but what I have found, what I really like, is the water equivalency of 1 ice cube from an ice cube tray. Now, you may not want to cool it down that much. Perhaps on a hot day, you're in Texas or in the middle of summer, and you may want to cool it down. But I would say, if you don't want to cool it down, but you're just looking to put some water into it to extend the whiskey, to bring the intensity down a little bit, to perhaps take the bite down a little bit, still I would use the water equivalency to 1 little space in an ice cube tray, or its equivalency just from teaspoons. So what I found worked really well in terms of a method of sort of calibrating how much I want to take it down. I would take 1 ice cube and drop it in, then let it warm up so that the ice cube is completely melted and the glass has resumed a normal temperature, or just fill up one spot with water, and then you know that's how much you want, and then spoon out from that one spot an ice cube tray, and that's the amount you're going to want. If, again, this is going to depend on how much you're actually putting in your glass. I have found I'm really liking, these are like a Canadian Glencairn. I like the feel of them. They don't have a base on them. They're wider so you can get your nose in more. They're not quite as funneled as the regular Glencairns. And if you want to, you can fit an ice cube in it. So I find, and I like the hand feel of it. So this is almost like a midway between a rocks glass and a normal Glencairn glass. And I'm currently looking into getting some custom glasses made just like this. But we'll get to that at another time. But I'm really finding this is what I like to drink from. Perhaps review, you know, to analyze a whiskey from a normal Glencairn. But this is really what I find I like to drink from. So let's put some more water in it. And this puppy will take some water, and take some water, and take some water, and not even bat an eye. It has no problem taking plenty of water. Trust me. Alrighty, let's get into it. Now, of course, this isn't my first approach to the glass, to the bottle. I've gotten it down below the shoulder. I've had plenty of experience with this one. You know, I'm trying it in different ways. With most or many port finished whiskeys, I find the port wants to take over. Port wants to be the dominant note, particularly say with port finished bourbons. And it's almost like too much makeup. You ever see someone, you know, say a woman who's put on too much makeup and they're just, you know, putting on you know, birthday cake frosting on the face. It's just like way over the top. You know, a lot of port finishes on bourbons are like that. This is not. This is really well integrated. So you're still getting the single malt character, but intertwined with it, that port character as well. So I get dried black fruit notes, fig, dates, raisins, but also some dried plums, some nice berry notes, blackberry, blueberry. There's definitely some spice in there, cinnamon, vanilla, maybe a little bit of white pepper. And the wine character starts really coming through more when you add some water to it. And it rounds it out a lot more as well. There's definitely some chocolate notes, almost like if you have chocolate covered raisins, goobers, definitely get that on there. All right, on the palate. Man. You saw how much water I put in it. It's still got tons of flavor. It's got a super long finish. I'm tasting it now. What is the ABV with all that water in it? I don't know for sure. I would estimate somewhere around 50 based on the palate feel. I'm guessing I got it down to around 50. It still maintains a real nice viscosity. There's a silky oilness to it. Get the chocolate covered raisins, black plums, currants, blackberries, black cherries, cinnamon, just a little bit of pepper, some caramels, dark chocolate. Really nice. This is an absolutely spectacular whiskey. I don't think I could review it straight. It's just too overwhelming. It's just too overwhelming. And I seriously doubt they really think everybody's going to drink this 100% straight. Not that you can't. I mean, knock yourself out, literally. But I don't think they expect anyone to drink this 100% straight like that. It's just a whole lot going on there. What I like is it doesn't have any overbearing wood notes. Some whiskeys coming out of Texas can have that side of particularly on the back end, that sort of woody character to it. It doesn't have any of that. Everything is really well integrated. It has a nice evolution. It has a real lengthy finish. I'm still tasting it now, even though I put all this water in it. It's an absolutely superb whiskey. In fact, I actually brought home 2 bottles. So I don't just have one. I have this one, and then I have another one. So hopefully, in case I can't get another one during one of my next trips to Texas, that one will last me a while. And I'm really looking forward to get into the Brujeria. Maybe even do a challenge between the Brujeria and the Hechiceros, because I love them both. I have been going back and forth in my sampling of these 2 bottles, trying to figure out which one I like the most. And it's a real tight competition. All right. If you are going down to Texas, Balcones is a must visit of a distillery, and see if you can do a tour. I did a tour last time I was there, had a private tour there. See if you can do a tour there. It's a really cool place, really cool people. And if you're just passing through Texas, perhaps you're going through Dallas-Fort Airport, maybe you have a layover or something like that. Maybe you're going down there to visit relatives. You know, take a little side trip, just search around, on your smartphone for liquor stores and pop in and see if you can find something, because these are definite must-take-home bottles. All right, that's it for this review. If you subscribe to this channel, I want to thank you very much. If you haven't yet subscribed, but you like watching my videos, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Share with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and other social networking channels. And if you want to be notified when I go live or post a new video, you're going to want to ring that bell. And until next time, cheers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and check out these other whiskey videos.